Okay, hey everyone, it's Allie's Travels. We're at the Meadows Massacre site. Well, one of the sites. They have several memorials. This one is for the women and children that died here. May we forever remember the women, children, and wounded who died near here on September 11th, 1857, as part of the Meadows Massacre. They were killed without just cause. Most lie in unmarked graves somewhere in this valley. Only 17 small children survived. They were later reunited with their extended families in Arkansas. So they're buried somewhere around here. No one really knows. Yeah, it's my nephew. Say hi, Joe.
Hi.
I guess after they were killed, they were just left outside. They took their clothes and their livestock and their valuables and just left them out to rot. And then later I think it was the military came and buried them. So the basic story is that there was, Mormons settled in this valley and in 1857, and they had just come from Missouri, and where they had been persecuted by mobs and a lot of them killed. They suffered terribly, so they were settled in this valley, and they heard the government was building an army against them, and then these immigrants were coming through, so they were on edge because these immigrants were from Arkansas, I think, and that's close to where they were persecuted. So they came through here and they killed them, a bunch of them, and they left some children alive, and it gave them to Mormon families. And then years and years later, they returned them to their families back in Arkansas. I'm just trying to give a brief history. Don't know if I did very well.
What's up?
It's my nephew Joe.
Oh. Okay. I said you want to check if the camera's good, that you could take this or not.
Okay, in early September 1857, about 140 people camped in this valley. Most of them were families from northwest Arkansas, led by Captains John T. Baker and Alexander Fancher. They were headed to new opportunities in California. Their worldly possessions included about 35 wagons, several hundred cattle, and many mules, horses, and oxen. Beginning on September 7th, the camp was attacked by a group of Mormon militiamen and the Paiute Indians they had recruited. In a 5-day siege fueled by complex hostilities, the attackers killed at least 10 men who fought valiantly to defend family and friends. The immigrants fought off their attackers until September 11th, when Mormon militiamen entered the encampment under a white flag of truce. The militiamen deceived their victims into surrendering weapons and property in exchange for protection and safety. The militiamen separated the immigrants into 3 groups and marched them from the camp. The wounded and some small children rode in wagons, followed by women and older girls on foot with other children. Men and older boys walked some distance behind, each escorted by a Mormon militiaman. At a prearranged signal, militiamen shot the men, older boys, and some of the wounded. Mormons and Paiutes surged from their hiding places and in a matter of minutes massacred most of the remaining immigrants, including the courageous women who were attempting to protect the children and flee. Victims' voices fell silent except for the sobbing of 17 small surviving children. The dead were stripped of their clothing and left without decent burial. Their wagons, livestock, and other property were plundered. In 1859, soldiers in the United States Army buried the victims' scattered scavenged remains. 17 years after the massacre, a federal grand jury indicted 9 Mormon militiamen for crimes related to the siege and massacre. About 50 other militiamen were involved, along with an unknown number of Paiutes. Only one, John D. Lee, was brought to trial and convicted. He was executed near here on March 23rd, 1877. So this is where we are. Here's a few other sites.
Oh, by the way, subscribe to the YouTube channel or else I'll be here in the next video.
Yeah, subscribe to my channel and like.
Or else I'll be here next time. And you'll regret not subscribing if I do be here next time.
Darn right. See you in the next one.